Hello, welcome back to the RSC. I'm Sauce Boss, joined by Taco on the desk. Once again, Wiz on the production side of things, and I don't believe we're going to be able to see another match like that tonight, but who knows? We might be able to see the Praetoriani and the Hammerheads one-up that match we just saw. What do you think, Taco?
It's going to be difficult, but I'd like to see them do it if they can. That would be certainly fun to see. But yeah, Praetoriani and the Hammerheads here. As let's go ahead and look at the team stats. So I lost my overlay. There we go. Yeah, so the Praetoriani are 10-18, so a bit of a rough start to the season, but the Hammerheads are 17-11, so a bit of a opposite ends of the spectrum. 17-11 is a very good start, and 10-18 isn't ideal. It's not impossible to come back from, but yeah, definitely Hammerheads have been the scoring a lot more. That shooting percentage is 12% better, and they have similar amounts of shots. But again, those being clinical and being able to score your chances you get is a big thing.
Yeah, scoring is very, very important, especially for rival, where you have those opportunities, more open nets. Hammerheads have just done pretty well overall, getting that 36.5%. But the Praetoriani, it would seem like they would have better opportunities. It's just the offense is having a lot of struggles, but 124 saves. It might be a struggle for the Hammerheads to find the back of the net, especially if the Praetoriani are that strong on the defensive side of things.
Yeah, but as always, I feel like, especially in these, not the rivals the lowest tier, but when you're not in the high tiers and you're giving a lot of shots up and having to make saves, it's usually not a great thing. Usually you'll see the team that has the most shots wins most of the time. So yeah, so Praetoriani are going to have to try and prevent a lot of those shots from coming in to stand a chance in this series. But let's move on to the player stats. First off, for the Praetoriani, as I said, they have mostly a three-man starting group of Grim, Calicat, and Shrek. Looks like main goal scorer, taking up about over 50% of their goals scoring coming from him. And again, the demos we mentioned, 25 demos for Grim and 25 demos for Shrek. Could see the physical game definitely come out.
Yeah, could see the physical game come out. Calicat with 46 saves definitely tends to be on the back line most of the time, but in the right position, at least on defense. Maybe a little more aggression, might be able to see that come out, maybe increase those demo totals for tonight. Only 3, a little low. However, it's not the worst thing in the world to not be demo heavy, but the assists are also spread out quite a bit across the team. We'll have to look to see if they can find a way to push it into the mid, find their teammates, and give them a little better and more higher percentage shots.
Yeah, definitely. And moving on to the Hammerheads player stats, this one will definitely have the three-person lineup of Gyarados, iSuperiorAlpha, and haileyset. Again, this one is more of a two-headed monster for goal scoring, at least in Gyarados and iSuperiorAlpha. And as for the saves, they're seemingly split pretty evenly, so they're rotating well, and a good amount of demos for everyone on the team. But yeah, a really well-rounded team, it seems, for Hammerheads, sharing the load offensively and defensively.
Yeah, not much to really say other than this team has been really well balanced. Usually one player between Gyarados and iSuperiorAlpha being able to find mainly the big offensive production, but haileyset is right there as well. Still 13 saves, 13 assists, 25 saves, and the demo totals are lower, but they're probably doing a great job of filling in that space where it's needed, and they're just giving a much needed break for Gyarados and Alpha on those rotations, and it's just opening up the game a lot more for them. And we might be able to see a little bit more of that happen, as it looks like all of our players are in the lobby and ready to go. We'll let them know they can join up and we can get this show on the road.
Yep, Praetoriani and Hammerheads, another rival series, hoping to live up to the last series we just played. Maybe a 4-goal comeback, we'll see. Probably not, but certainly some high scoring and some highlight plays incoming, as the kickoff will go right into the net, as that's the way to start it for Praetoriani. Completely dunks the kickoff, and Grim gets the opener to start us off.
Great kickoff strats right there. Hope it was a kickoff strat, because Grim placed it perfectly, getting the right 50, delayed the kickoff just enough to get where they needed. Another good kickoff. Gyarados just a little bit offset. haileyset not able to get that one off the clear. Great low 50. Unfortunate double commit out of CaliCat, and ChromaToad and SHA is just going to have a clean open net right there. And we have ourselves a tie game with not much time off the clock, not even 15 seconds.
Yeah, Superior gets a good 50 and another open net. So, a high-scoring game I think we could be in for, as CaliCat's going to get a clean touch that she bangs to the other side of the net. Grim is just left to play a challenge that I don't think Hammerheads were ready for. They didn't think Grim would take that challenge so head-on and almost get punished for it. haileyset's going to look to buy time. CaliCat's going to challenge it anyways. You would have thought Hammerheads would have been ready and up to support their teammate. This one's going to come out midfield. ChromaToad's shot is blocked by Superior. CaliCat doesn't have enough boost, so Grim is going to try and clear it to the backboard to commit. And ChromaToad is able to buy enough time to clear it away. Grim clears it long. Is anyone going to be back? haileyset gets 50, but this one goes safely to the corner for now. Hammerheads hold on. Gyarados downfield. Superior looking for a redirect. Gyarados to the corner. ChromaToad back in the midfield. Superior is going to be first to this ball, maybe. Nope, CaliCat cuts it out, and we are just going back and forth. The goals have started to loosen up, and or the defense have started to tighten up, I should say, and definitely these teams are starting to feel each other out and not concede such silly goals.
Yeah, and for a 10-18 record, you didn't really expect Praetoriani to come out firing like they have. And so far, they've put a lot of pressure on this very dominant Hammerheads team so far, forcing a lot of effort on defense for the Hammerheads. Already a save out of Alpha, and only one goal for each team so far. Cali with a pretty good pass here, and they're gonna get a second goal here. And the Hammerheads are just look like they're bunched up. They're not playing loose and free like we would have expected them to with the record they have. And it's just backfiring on them as they are playing a little bit too tight.
Yeah, Praetoriani are coming out firing to start off this series. Certainly not the way the stats would have said, but they are piling on the shots of the offense. haileyset's going to get a reset, try and look for his teammate into in midfield, as SHA able to clear it away. Grim is going to get challenged immediately. Gyarados is there for the dunk and fires it home. Looks like both these teams have decided we're not playing defense. Great dunk by Alpha into the midfield. Gyarados is first to it. ChromaToad can't read where that shot is going to be placed, and we have a tie game.
Yeah, great 50 out of the Hammerheads in the corner right there. Drops it exactly where they needed to, and just creating a great play right there. Grim's going to have an excellent opportunity. haileyset low on boost. This one goes off the backboard. Alpha just barely manages to get a touch on that ball out of the last second. Double commit out of Callie and one of the other teammates there. SHA take this one up off the wall. He's going to have himself a solo play. He's going to look for the bump 50, not able to get it. Grim's going to clear it away. Still has possession on the wall. Low boost out of Gyarados. And back to the corner. haileyset looking for a clear. Callie's going to try and read it, gets a bump off. And ChromaToad's going to have to fill in, try to keep this one out. But the rotation now is starting to fill in for the Hammerheads. Just able to put it where they need to, fill in that space off of clears and read touches however they're needed to. We'll have to see if the Praetoriani can find a way to break it just however much they need to and throw them off to get another goal and put themselves back in the lead.
Yeah, Praetoriani need to adjust as the Hammerheads have adjusted, it seems, as ChromaToad has no boost, but Grim will challenge first for him. As, oh, are they going to catch him out? No, Alpha is there, reads the sneaky shot play, as Calicat is going to look to buy time, play this in. This is going to come out midfield. Alpha is going to be first to it. This is going to redirect almost on target. Gyarados, as that one needed to be touched. No, it didn't, as it's played to the corner. Grim gets a 50. This one's going to be bouncing. Alpha has been so fast to it, as Praetoriani had been caught out by, I think, by Alpha speed sometimes. haileyset looking for the tight angle double, unable to find it. And Praetoriani are now low on boost, looking to find a way out of it. They're still low on boost. They're looking to get bumped. Alpha gets bumped. Instead, though, they take out the shooter, and that's all they needed to do. But they still don't have a lot of boost. Now they're going to able to be cleared away and get boosted up.
Yeah, and Hammerheads did a great job of demonstrating how not necessarily how dangerous a hard shot can be, but how much panic a hard touch in general can cause, especially if it's anywhere with the potential to go on net. And a great bump in the net sets up ChromaToad for a lead here with 4 seconds remaining. Great bump by Grim.
Yeah, Grim had great faith in his teammate there to get it around one of the defenders, goes immediately to hunt down the last defender in net. Oh my gosh, are we going to get a kickoff goal? No, we do not. Calicat was waiting there. This one might hit the ground. Alpha's going to try and keep it up, trying to get them a last-second goal. Grim should ground this. He will. He'll kill it and give Praetoriani a Game 1 win.
Yeah, this is not the start I was expecting to this series. Praetoriani have come out just playing confident. It's almost like they're playing like they have nothing to lose, but they're just playing generally good Rocket League. They're holding rotations as needed, and it's just working for them. They're just not forcing anything where it's needed, and they're filling in that space. Well, the Hammerheads, they just came out and played really tight. They came out, I wouldn't necessarily say scared, but they were just trying to clear anything out of their back half, and it just wasn't working. And then they finally started to find their footing in the end of the game, just working those rotations, like I said earlier, for Praetoriani. And it started to work for them, but they just weren't able to break through in the final minutes of the game.
Yeah, Hammerheads were certainly an offensive threat, but Praetoriani were able to hold on in the end. 4 shots each from Grim and ChromaToad, and they're able to get enough goals past this Hammerheads defense and hold on for those saves that they're definitely capable of, and locking down the Hammerheads defense. But Hammerheads are not going to let this go away easily. Game 2. Here we go.
Yeah, and I want to see the Hammerheads come out playing them a little more loose, just not focusing on solo plays and not just trying to clear out of their net. Force the ball to go left and right. Diagonals also are just so important for clearing the ball out. Finding a second touch with a teammate can do so much for your ability to clear balls out. But great touch by ChromaToad, keeps that one away off the net. Gyarados is going to have an opportunity. ChromaToad off the back line. bumps come out. Nobody there to clear it away. Grim is backwards. He's going to have a tough time reading this one. Makes his own team a little awkward, but that ball just goes slightly off the post, and they're not going to be able to find a way. Hammerheads had a great opportunity right there, and this one's going to go back the other way. Gyarados having to make a forced touch. Double commit comes out. Calicat has a chance. SHA going to clear it away, and Grim still underneath the ball, a little awkward. ChromaToad with more to in the tank gets the other touch, but it's cleared all the way down. Grim trying to control it a little bit. He is going to get an air dribble. haileyset is already up. This one's going to fall a little too far away. Back into the middle for ChromaToad. Not able to find it. Callie in the right position. Just not enough speed to get to it in time.
Alpha gets 50'd immediately. Haley goes up in the air but can't read the bounce off the wall. And waterfalls down. Haley is able to read this touch instead, though, as it's going to bounce out to the midfield. Calicat is there, chooses to bang it against the side instead of going directly for goal. ChromaToad, that one goes way too high in the air and not enough out. Grim is able to get a touch to safety, but they are going to be able to steal the boost. Calicat gets a huge clear away, or they're going to be in some real trouble. Grim instead looking to find a far corner, not able to do so. ChromaToad gets a crazy ceiling pinch off that play. Instead, it's going to come around. ChromaToad should have time to get boosted up. Can he read this touch? Be first to it. Yes, he can. Where's the help, though? No one on Praetoriani trusted that he was going to be able to get the clear, and they were not there for the outlet pass. Grim instead is going to have to look to buy time. This one's going to come out to Callie. Looking for the bump is Grim. That one can't find the far corner of the net. Grim again, who found that huge bump on the go-ahead goal in game one, is looking for more bumps, and it's really putting Hammerheads in a dicey situation to come out of, but they are able to do so right now. ChromaToad up in the air, looking to buy time, gets a 50. Gyarados plays it to the corner. Grim is last back, looking to buy time. Instead, they're getting bumped and finally cleared away. Grim on the counter, gets it on target, and this game is going back and forth, counter-attacking goals. Praetoriani punish them.
This is an impressive showing from Praetoriani. Picking up where they left off last game, getting the lead back yet again. And it's just impressive watching them pass back and forth, finding the outlets. And so far, those outlets have been so important for Rival tonight that that's probably their bread and butter for this tier, is just finding the outlet, finding that far outside, and just throwing it on net. Those solo plays, while powerful, their passing plays are just a little bit stronger. Gyarados getting a great touch off the backboard. SUPERIORAlpha filling in, and they're going to tie it right back up. Had the lead for a little bit. Praetoriani are going to have to do a little work to gain the lead back yet again. Maybe we'll see it in the closing seconds again.
Yeah, as good as those counters have been for Praetoriani, they're going to need to do a little bit more than just counterattack if they want to win this series, as Hammerheads have a capable offense and a capable defense looking to punish them. Gyarados is going to try and go up in the air for this. Grim pre-jumps and reads it. Alpha plays it over the top. ChromaToad is going to buy time, take his time. He knows he doesn't have boost, but no one challenged him immediately. Instead, it's going to be 50'd out. Grim's going to try and take control. This one's going to go right to Calicat. Gyarados tried to get a huge dunk. Unable to do so. Calicat should have time to beat SUPERIORAlpha to the ball. Instead, it does come out to a 50. No one is there for the pass. Instead, they're trying to get boost. Gyarados tried to look for the sidewall double. Unable to do so. This one's going to come out to the midfield. Calicat plays it long, but instead they're not following up on these touches correctly. Praetoriani is getting great clears, but they can't find the follow-up, and so it's just leading it straight back to a Hammerheads player to keep this one in on offense. Here we go. Here could be an air dribble pass to Grim. Grim just puts it harmlessly on Gyarados' hood, and they're gonna have to keep that offensive pressure going for more than just a second. This one is just off the post. Gyarados can't find the angle. Grim plays it long and clears it away.
Yeah, some decent opportunities, and the clears have been pretty well. They just gotta communicate a little bit better for Praetoriani, and this one is gonna go in the net. What a 50, and in 5 seconds left, almost the exact same fashion as they did in the last game.
Yeah, ChromaToad completely disrespects Gyarados there and just punishes a sloppy clear away. And Praetoriani, despite playing most of this game in their offensive or in their defensive half, are going to lose it. And Praetoriani have a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, this is... I'm getting a little deja vu right now. We saw the first 2 games of the last series get sniped away in the closing seconds and force overtime. And in the last 2 games of this series, we see the Praetoriani snipe away the lead in the closing seconds. This is an insane night of Rocket League we are watching.
Yeah, Praetoriani have certainly showcased they have what it takes to keep in these close games, and their counters are lethal. And at the very end there, they just continued to fight and made sure to continue in pressing Hammerheads to try and make good touches away from them. And a good dunk there from ChromaToad leads them to getting a game-winning goal.
Yeah, and the Hammerheads have everything they need. I think they're just forcing themselves onto the rotations when they need to. It's just pushing themselves a little too early and not waiting for Praetoriani to make a mistake. They just got to go back to the fundamentals, work the rotations, because when they have those rotations down, they are putting so much pressure on the Praetoriani defensive half that it's almost overwhelming. They just got to find a way to work a slightly better touch, and it looks like we might have an issue. Only 2 players are on the side. We might see a reset come out here.
Yeah. Remake has been called out, so looks like everyone will leave the lobby, and we will have another lobby remake. Should just be a few minutes while we get this set back up.
Yeah, a pretty anticlimactic start to Game 3 after the excitement we've had over the last 4 games, or last 6 games, rather, I should say. But these matches have been great, and Praetoriani, they're gonna, no matter the outcome of these next 2 matches, they're gonna have to feel so proud of themselves for going up against a heavyweight opponent in Shark Attacks, Hammerheads, that they're gonna be. It's gonna set them up not only better for their overall record, but they have a chance to come out with a 3-1 and even a 4-0 sweep.
Yeah, and that would be impressive and a huge way to potentially start the turnaround of their season. 10-18, getting a sweep would put them just 1 sweep away from being back 500 and back even on the record. So Praetoriani want to make the playoffs. They'll need a huge victory today, and it looks like they might be heading towards one if they can hold on after this lobby remake.
Yep, and it looks like everybody's ready to go once again, not wasting any time. I believe the Praetoriani are going to try to come out fighting like they did in the last game, but I'm seeing the vision out of Hammerheads. They're starting to put and piece things together. They've found some passes and opportunities where they hadn't in game 1, and they just got to find a way to work it around again. But that pass goes a little bit too awry. haileyset looking for another one. Grim pushing it out away, and he's still going to follow this one, have a chance to place it mid, maybe steal a boost pad. Good looks right there. ChromaToad keeping it on the wall, but a full boost pad out of Gyarados. Going to push it a little too far, not able to get a solid pass into the middle. Coming together, ChromaToad into the middle, haileyset there. Great on defense so far in this series. Grim in the middle. This one has an opportunity. Gyarados just a little too early on the flip. haileyset already in the air, and nobody out of either team was ready in the waiting for it. ChromaToad still refusing to leave the play, still causing mayhem on 0 boost. Could come a problem later in rotations if they get a little too overzealous, but Grim has an opportunity on the ceiling. Not able to get it. Gyarados putting this one into the corner, looking for a double tap off the read. Grim, accidental touch there. This one's going to go in the middle. SUPERIORAlpha following it up, not able to get it. haileyset also off the ceiling. Not able to get it. Another one off the backboard. Gyarados still has an opportunity here, but he does lose this one. Grim around one. haileyset's the only one back. Are we going to see a bump come out of here? haileyset not able to get it, and nobody out of Praetoriani in the middle, ready to go with that one. That was probably their best opportunity they've had in these first 2 minutes.
And it's again these counters as almost a huge dunk. Grim punishes the aggressive third man positioning and completely catches out the defense there, as Grim had control of the ball, and yet Gyarados still just ego challenged him completely, disrespects Grim, and Grim is going to make you pay every time on that.
These counterattacks are just so devastating from the Praetoriani. They are doing such a good job of controlling the ball at a moment's notice, getting a pass out where they're needed to, getting the perfect bang, waiting for the Hammerheads to just get just out of sync, just enough, and then putting it where they needed to. And they're getting some very hard touches on these counters as well, and forcing themselves right there. Callie already up in the air. Grim's gonna have another chance right here. haileyset putting it off the backboard, and it's gonna calm down just a little bit. Superior just trying to maintain possession, gets already jumped early by ChromaToad, back out in the middle, off the backboard. We're gonna see a follow-up from Gyarados, and he's gonna be able to tie this one up. An exciting last minute here we've had, nearly going both ways on goals.
Yeah, and Hammerheads have certainly had the better pressure, and they are showing what they can do with it finally, not being punished for overcommitting. That time getting a great passing play, a great clean shot from Gyarados to catch the last defender who's stuck on the back wall, can't get down in time, and they are able to tie this game up. And they'll need to do a little bit more. Grim trying to make something out of nothing, looking to dunk is Calicat, not able to do so. Gyarados trying to take time, gets 50'd off the ball. Grim is gonna get deleted from the play, but Calicat realizes in time and will delete one of the Hammerheads players back, as ChromaToad trying to harass Gyarados. Gyarados looking to make magic happen, gets a 50. This one's gonna come out midfield. haileyset's up first. This one is too weak of a shot though, and so Grim's gonna take this to the wall, tries to pinch it against the wall. Instead, it's gonna come out to Calicat, who's trying to get it past the last defender. Grim on the ball, Superior for the shot underneath the defender who's on the back wall, and again, Hammerheads are starting to find their groove now.
Yeah, they've done a great job. Every time they've had offensive pressure, they've done a great job keeping it, and the only time they lose it is when they just overcommit just a little bit too much and they get beat out on a big clear. But so far, that's what they've done. Every single time they've been on offense, they have swarmed the shiver of sharks, as it's called with the group name. They've done a great job just swarming the net, one after the other. Shot goes on, it's cleared away. There's another one ready in the waiting to keep it up, and they're trying to do it once again. haileyset already there. Calicat gets beat out off the crossbar. ChromaToad able to keep that one out, and now there's only one left lurking for demos. Grim's gonna try and put this one on. Gyarados just a little bit too quick. Alpha back in the middle. Calicat, the former shark, putting it back up in net. And now back again. They're swarming yet again. haileyset looking for another one. Gyarados looking for the bump on the back wall. Grim has another opportunity right here off the ceiling. Not too much of a worry for Alpha. This one actually gets put on net. ChromaToad gets another one, and they're going to tie this one up with 16 seconds left to go.
Yeah, ChromaToad, another ego dunk on the last defender in a late stage of this game, as he is just not leaving the play regardless of if Hammerheads have control of the ball. He's continuing to attack it in hopes that they give the ball to him, and this time they don't clear the ball away in time, as this one's going to come out midfield. Grim is almost able to get on the end of it. Instead, this one's going to bounce. It's still up in the air. It bounced before 0 seconds. This one's going to hit the ground, and we have overtime.
These games are way too exciting. We saw another one, this one not quite underneath 10 seconds, but they have sniped it away yet again, forcing overtime, just forcing these Hammerheads to do anything they can to keep a lead. And it's just been memorable watching these reversals, forcing everything out. Double commit comes out. Grim's got another chance, but not a whole lot of boost. ChromaToad looking for another shot. SUPERIORAlpha, low boost. Does get the 50 off the back ball. haileyset a little off kilter. Low boost for everybody but Alpha. Does miss it, and it's going to set up an opportunity here for the Praetoriani. Off the wall, CaliCat not able to read it. ChromaToad's not going to cut in on this, and a shot going all the way down. Grim does get a hand up, and ChromaToad's going to get a handle on it here. Still another one, and haileyset's last back. A miss out of there. CaliCat looking for the shot. Grim on back ball. He is last. haileyset does get that one. It's on target, and they're going to take their first win here in Game 3.
Almost a bad whiff in midfield. Instead, it's going to lead to an awkward overcommit from Praetoriani, which we can't really say. It's usually been the other way around. And now Hammerheads are able to punish Praetoriani for the overcommit. They saw that whiff. Their eyes got a little too wide, and they're punished for the same mistake that they've been punishing Hammerheads for this entire series.
Praetoriani saw that opportunity. CaliCat saw it as well. It just opened up for a split second. They zoned in on that ball, tried to get to it, and it got cut just a little too short. And just finding the break, Hammerheads cleared it out to off the wall, and haileyset was on the wall ready for it, and just caught everybody off guard from the Praetoriani. It's not over yet. Hammerheads still have to go one more game to pull out a 2-2 and salvage what they can out of this night. Not quite disastrous for them. They're still in a good spot, and they can afford to go 2-2, but they can't afford to do it too many times, as Praetoriani, it's been a great night for them, and Grim has been solid in the air and just forcing them to make errant touches.
Yeah, Praetoriani have been great, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to this final game and what will determine whether they're able to get the series victory or if it will just be a 2-2 draw in the end, as Hammerheads are starting to find their groove, find their rhythm, and get back into this series like they should have been to begin with. But to start off this game, Praetoriani are already looking to attack and punish, and CaliCat's going to try and take this one to the air. Can't find the second touch. Instead, Gyarados is looking to buy time. CaliCat's lurking, but haileyset clears it long. ChromaToad, who's been a menace on these challenges, menace on the ball, clears it over to the other side of the net. SUPERIORAlpha gets a flip reset, tries to find his teammate. Gyarados gets it, but Grim is able to recover, make the save, and instead ChromaToad on the counter. They don't have boost though. Only CaliCat really did, and she just gives the ball away to them. So Grim is looking to buy time. haileyset gets it. They get a good boost steal in the corner. ChromaToad gets it. Should have a clean touch. No, Gyarados immediately on the challenge. SUPERIORAlpha. This one is going to waterfall off the backboard straight down. Is anyone going to be there? No, they won't. Instead, Gyarados is going to be there for the touch, and it's saved away by Grim. It's now SUPERIORAlpha for the shot. Cleared away to the corner. Grim able to be a one-man army on the defense and keep this one scoreless.
Yeah, been two fantastic saves. Grim's going to have an opportunity here for a shot. Does get cleared away into the corner. ChromaToad on the back wall looking for a bump. Does get it just a tad bit too late. Grim getting a 50 on the wall. Just slows it down a little bit too much. ChromaToad early challenge does beat everybody to it. And I think that's been a pretty big key to their gameplay so far. They've just not allowed Hammerheads to have any space with the ball whatsoever. The only opportunities they've had is when they've had that big offensive push when they swarm the net, and it's just been throwing off Gyarados. It's been throwing off Superior. Them just forcing somebody to go at all times has been so disruptive to this Hammerheads offense that they're gonna have to, other teams, if they study what happened, they're gonna be able to find that weak link that the Hammerheads didn't appear to have before this matchup.
Yeah, Praetoriani, I'm sure, must be frustrating to play against, as it feels like you're always under pressure, you're always being challenged, and really they are always being challenged, as instead Calicat's going to get a clean touch. haileyset is going to get an awkward aerial, but Grim is going to be there for a 50. Calicat next up forces a double commit from the Hammerheads. Instead, ChromaToad looking to pass it infield. Grim is high up in the air. Can he find it down on target? No, instead it's going to hit the crossbar. ChromaToad has to buy time, doesn't have a lot of boost, but uses it effectively to buy enough time to the corner. Gyarados looking to try and dunk the last defender, not able to do so. Alpha with the ball, trying to infield pass it, no one available, so it's cleared long again. And again, Praetoriani gets a clean touch, but it's just chucked straight at Gyarados in net. A minute 50 left on the clock. Praetoriani are looking good, but they need to find this goal. Instead, it looks to be Hammerheads on the counter attack. Cleared away only as far as Gyarados. He'll hit it to the ground, and it's this going back and forth as haileyset looks for the dunk. SUPERIORAlpha was hoping for a miss, was already up in the air. Instead, this one will just be delayed in the midfield. Everyone is awkward. Who's going to go? It's going to be cleared long. Gyarados looking for the redirect. Back to haileyset. It's just wide of the mark. Almost a brilliant passing play, but they can't find the right execution.
Maybe a little bit of a mistake from haileyset trying to pass that one again. He had the open area, just not able to do it right. And this one's going to find the top right corner. Makes the mistake the first time around, cleans it up the second time, and he's going to be able to finally find this back of the net. Gets an unorthodox shot, does find the top right corner, and they're on top right now, a minute left, but we've seen greatness out of this Praetoriani team in the closing seconds of this match. First 3 seconds, they've taken the lead away. And SUPERIORAlpha gonna follow up on this one as well. Things might be starting to get out of hand for Praetoriani.
Yeah, SUPERIORAlpha up so quick for this one. ChromaToad trying to scramble to get back in time, but Hammerheads have a 2-goal lead now. And a rare multi-goal lead for the Hammerheads, as they've been fighting tooth and nail throughout the series. ChromaToad and Grim trying to link up. Grim follows up a passing play, and they take care of the rebound off their own shot. ChromaToad passes it off, gets the demo, applies pressure. Really good play from Praetoriani. Grim executes it to perfection.
Not out of it yet. They're not ready to go down. They're gonna go down fighting. They've fought this entire series, and they have a chance to force a loss out of the Hammerheads, which isn't very easy to do, and they're gonna fight every single second. They're back within one. Grim already up on the wall. He's got an opportunity. It shows itself right there. ChromaToad, he finds it! This one's tied up with 25 seconds left to go!
Praetoriani are relentless. Grim to ChromaToad. The passing plays continue to haunt this Hammerheads defense. They never quit and they never give up. And on this night, on this match night, we've seen literally every comeback possible. I'm just not surprised at this point. Calicat might have a free shot. Puts it over the bar. ChromaToad's gonna be first to it. Challenged away by Alpha. Grim's last back, but he's gonna force 2 to go. Gyarados is the last one. ChromaToad free shot. Pass to Calicat for the game. 3-2. Another miraculous comeback. Praetoriani take the lead.
My goodness. The former shark herself. It's not quite the dagger. There's 3 seconds left. We have seen crazier things happen before. It's not down yet. Grim looking for one. Calicat just has to drop in. She does. Praetoriani come out with a 3-1 1 victory here in match day 8. Incredible series by them.
Incredible games tonight across the board as Praetoriani are able to get a huge series win potentially for their chances of salvaging their season. And they played so well together, linked up in these passing plays, this clutch moments that they needed. They were able to come through. And Sauce, who is going to be your MVP of this series?
I mean, between Grim and ChromaToad, it is so difficult to pick one of them. But Grim was so consistent in rotation, in touches, getting everything he needed to set his team up, especially with that icy pass to ChromaToad in the closing seconds, just to give them a chance. And he did it. I'm going to have to give it to Grim right here.
Yeah, Grim and ChromaToad played great, but Grim, in the end, I'll agree with you, is the MVP of the series. Also, he had those huge 2 bumps on 2 game winners they had also earlier in the series, was really linked up with his teammates and able to get this one to go. As speaking of Grim, we do have Grim available in the waiting room for the interview. Grim, welcome on in. Congrats on the huge series victory over this Hammerheads team. You had some really close games and some comebacks at the end. How are you able to get it done?
It's just the team coming around each other. It's that VC doesn't matter if we were up by a goal or down by a goal. Everybody was treating it as a 0-0 game that was down to the wire every chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a really fun series to watch. You had some huge bumps and passing plays, and at the end you seemed to be very linked up on that communication as you were talking about. Like, I think that's a huge part of it. Do you think, how are you able to be so confident in your teammates to make those plays?
It's just playing with these people for as long as you do. ChromaToad, we added as a free agent, but just having those games with him, the scrims we had were awesome. We were connecting in scrims. And then Callie, I played with last season. It's just, you play with people enough that you're able to just vision and realize what you see and just make that the keys to winning.
Yeah, and you guys definitely found a key in those counterattacks. It was just insane. You guys found a ton of those. That was your guys' bread and butter, especially for games 1 and 2. That was how you got, I believe, all of your goals. Is that something you guys have noticed has just been really working for you guys, or in Rival as a whole?
Yeah, Rival, just where everybody is kind of rank wise. A lot of people go all in on certain stuff, and counterattacking is where a lot of the big teams are starting to get their goals. So you watch those games and you don't try to replicate the big teams, but you see what works and you work on that. And obviously you can see the success that it brings.
All right. Well, thank you for your input there. Impressive night from you and the boys on Praetoriani. Well, I should also include girls for Cali Cat.
So thank you very much. Yeah, shout out to Chroma and Callie there. I can't do it without them.
All right, and that's going to conclude our final matchup here tonight. We had some amazing matches from both series, and it's going to be tough to top this night in casting. Watching, I think it was probably 7 out of the 8 games we watched a goal come in under 30 seconds to take away a lead, or at least tie it.
Yeah, we had a lot of really great games and close games come down to the wire, and some great goals. And speaking of great goals, if you have some clips you scored on RSC match night, remember, clip of the week in the RSC channel is always open for submission. for any eligible RSC match night. We would like to get some more submissions for those, get those popping for our social medias, and to get players voting on their clips that they can showcase. And as well, for our stream schedule, we have Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays. For this upcoming Sunday, we still have both slots open. So 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern and 9:45 p.m. Eastern on Sunday are both open. So if you want to play on stream, it's a great experience. Get your team signed up. Go talk to the other captain. Remember, for Sundays, you are able to sign up your team for either of your upcoming match nights for that week. So go ahead, get your team signed up to play on a stream. Go play. You maybe get your series to look like these series here and get some close games. I don't know if you want that, but the comebacks, the cinema, and get your team on stream. But that is going to do it for tonight. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you on Sunday.